Alright, so today we will be analyzing Big Chungus Eats the Universe. So if you don't know who Big Chungus is, it's Bugs Bunny with an expanded body that was shown in a cartoon way back when, and basically people turned it into a meme, and it's Big Chungus is the character. In the video, Big Chungus Eats the Universe by Surreal Entertainment, we see Big Chungus eating multiple items and growing in size, eventually consuming the whole earth and becoming the biggest Chungus. And I wanted to know, how much would Big Chungus have to eat to have eyes the size of the moon at 9 in the afternoon? So the first couple numbers that we have to be looking at is how tall is Big Chungus, and the numbers that I specifically found were for the average male height, and the carrots that are in the video are nectar carrots. In my opinion, what I've seen and what I've researched, they look like nectar carrots. And there's a frame where you can see the man standing next to the sign, and you can also see Big Chungus standing next to the sign, and they're both about the same height when you include Chungus's ears. And knowing that Chungus is the same height as this average sized man, we can use that to figure out what size of the carrots that he's eating and how much those carrots weigh and how tall he's getting when he is eating these items. Regular nectar carrots weigh about 61 grams when they are 6.5 inches. And I did the pixel measurements, and Chungus carrots are actually not regular sized nectar carrots. They're actually quite a lot bigger. Instead of being 16.15 centimeters, Chungus carrots are actually 67 centimeters. That's almost 2 feet. That's more than Subway's $5 footlongs, 2 of them combined. So when Chungus eats both of these Chungus carrots that we see, the 2 of them, we see that he eats about 495.8 grams worth of Chungus carrots. And we see that he grows from about 170 centimeters, or 5.57 feet, to 564 centimeters, and that's 18.5 feet. Seeing that he grows that much, we can use that ratio when he moves to his next target, which is the trees. And these trees that he's eating look like the ash tree, and we get an average height for 18.5 meters or 60.69 feet, and we can get that average because on the website it says they go from 12 to 25 meters with a 60 centimeter diameter at 25 meters. When we find the weight of wood and we use that in the formula for the volume of the tree, we can add that together, and we see that this tree is gonna weigh about 9,266.4 pounds. Alright, and this is where things start getting crazy. So we saw that when Big Chungus ate 2 carrots at 495.8 grams, that he grew 12.93 feet height growth. And when he goes to eat this one tree that's at 9,266.4 pounds, his height growth is 109,921.6 feet height growth. Now, as insane as a number as it sounds, it only gets crazier. From here, we have to figure out his eye and body ratio, which I did for the pixel measurements, and we have to find the diameter of the moon, which is online. We found that, and these numbers are so small. Big Chungus's eye at regular numbers are 7.58 centimeters, and his body's at 170 centimeters. And we have to get that to the size of the moon, and the moon's diameter is 2,158.8 miles. So an eye that is a centimeters 2 miles is a really big jump. I actually had a really hard time making those numbers work together, and so I actually ended up making his body proportions up bigger so that it would be easier to work with Miles. And so, for a grand total, Big Chungus's eye, when it is the size of the moon, 2,158.8 miles, at his eye being the size of the moon, Big Chungus's body comes out at the number of 48,421.68 miles tall. And just as a reference to show how massive Big Chungus is, the Earth's diameter is only 7,917.5 miles. That means that Chungus is 6 times larger than the Earth. And more of reference, the sun's diameter is 865,370 miles. It would take 109 Earths to go from one side of the sun to the other. It'll only take 17.87 Chunguses to go from one side of the sun to the other side of the sun. I can't claim to be a physicist or an astronomer, and I never really paid attention in science, so I don't know how to do gravity, but if I did it correctly, on Earth 100 pounds would be 174 pounds on Chungus. And before we forget the whole reason of us asking this question, we wanted to know how much he would have to eat to become that size. And after doing the math, he would have to eat, I don't even know how to say this number. I'm just going to put this number on the screen. And that is how many Chungus carrots he would have to eat. And in addition to that, the next number I'm going to put on here, that is the amount of pounds of food that he has to consume to gain that size. But anyway, thank you for joining me on this journey of self-learning about Chungus. Thank you so much. Have a great day.